Currently, the PlayStation Nation, the PlayStation fans, the ponies are crying. And right now, the Xbox fans are doing just like Cartman from South Park.
Yes! Yes! Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet. Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yum.
Yes, the Sony community is down bad.
Yo, I'm down bad, bro.
And we told these ponies that, you see, for the most part of the week, we have been telling Sony fans, so don't study about if Blade is coming to Sony platforms. Study about what's happening in you guys' house. Study what's happening at PlayStation. But no one wants to talk about, all the issues happening with PlayStation. Instead, they want to talk about Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Blade, all the games, only games upon games that are coming to the Xbox platform. That's why I am here. If the PlayStation community don't want to talk about what is going on right now in PlayStation House, I will talk about it. So let's do exactly that. Let's talk about it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. Throughout this video, you would notice an ongoing theme. And that theme is...
Where is factions?
Let's see if we can help this guy out answer that question. We'll first begin by talking about the Circana most played game charts. So on the PlayStation 5, as we can see here, we can see that here is the top 20 games. And the first two games are multiplats, and number 3 is an actual Sony game. But on this entire list, notice how many Microsoft or Xbox games Sony fans are playing. Yes, they are playing the multiplats. No wonder why Jim Ryan said that if Call of Duty was to leave or be tampered with on PlayStation, it could have major negative effects on Sony, because it's very clear that Sony is dependent on the multiplayer games. So this list really is exposing all the narratives that the ponies have, because they say that the single player first party games are what persons buy for the PlayStation 5. But as you can see clearly here, that the majority of PlayStation 5 owners buy multiplats. The single player games don't have any legs. They don't look. Spider-Man only released a month or two ago, and it has already been dethroned by a multiplat. And a matter of fact, a DLC according to the ponies. So this here is another L that the Sony community is taking. They said that Call of Duty was a DLC, but guess what? They have downloaded the DLC so much that it reached number 1. So let's go on to our next story, our next small story.
Where is factions?
Oh, hold on, guy, hold on. We will get to that soon. I mean, you need to chill a little bit. We'll talk about factions soon, okay? I need to finish up this last small story. Wow, these ponies are just hurrying for that L. They need to chill, man. So the next small story is that you remember that a number of Sony fans were saying that Xbox was not going to be ready for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Xbox Series X would not be able to compete with the PlayStation 5 Pro because they would not be making anything to compete with the PlayStation 5 Pro. Well, listen to this.
Like, there are rumors out from someone who was part of leaking this stuff on the PlayStation side, and this stuff I can mostly confirm. And again, there's some details that might not be fully locked in. That's where I say mostly. But that person's now also saying that Xbox will have their own Xbox Next in 2026, whether that's a Pro or the full follow-up console. Now, plans change. We heard during the FTC trial, documents showed that Microsoft was planning a diskless Xbox that was going to be basically an Xbox Series X, just with a cylindrical shape or whatever, and it wouldn't have a disk drive. This leaker's saying that stuff's canceled, and instead they're going to do the Xbox Next faster than they would have done it otherwise. So maybe moving up the start of the next generation by a couple of years. I don't know.
6 years, yeah.
I suppose you're right. 6 years is not that unheard of.
No, back in the day it used to be 5, but it's been a little bit longer than that lately. But yeah,
Yes.
hey, maybe that's what you do. Maybe if you're Microsoft, one way to help yourself is to get out of this kind of rut.
Yeah.
Where your new console comes out the same exact time frame as the new PlayStation. Maybe it'd be better for both of them, but they kind of trade off. Every 3 years.
Why not?
Now?
Yeah.
Why not anymore? Because you
what-
can still have the multi-platform games work on both of them.
Sure.
Anymore.
Because what's the downside? The PlayStation 6 comes out 2 years later and is more powerful. Well, yeah, but that's 2 years where you're way more powerful. There's definitely you can make hay of that. You can do something with that. And having the point-to-point comparison of being we're the exact same console, and having to kind of do that because you need to play it safe because you need to be able to compare point by point on the same day because both systems are there on the shelf at the same time. That does seem like it's holding back one of these systems, specifically the Xbox. So get away from that. I think that could work. I don't necessarily know if they'll do it. Again, plans have just seemingly changed. Maybe they'll change again. But I think it's probably at least worth considering. If you're in Microsoft's shoes, I think this is something that's a plan that could work, and maybe they end up trying to pull that off. There are
Wow, so another big rumor, this time of an Xbox Next. So we know that PlayStation 5 Pro is rumored to be coming out and will be much more powerful than the Xbox Series X. But now Jeff Grubb is saying there's another rumor that Xbox will come out with even a more powerful system than the Series X and the PlayStation 5 Pro. So think about this. Sony releases the PlayStation 5 Pro thinking that they have the most powerful console, and then Xbox comes with the yoop-de-doop and brings out much more powerful than the console than the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, this is, of course, a rumor. What do you think about it? Do you think this is possible? Do you think this is feasible? Let me know in the comment sections below. So yes, now let's go on to the main story. Where is that, guys? What question was he asking again?
All right, let me ask you a question. Can you help me? Can you help me with this question?
What's the question?
Where is factions? You told us to wait. We waited, and you're still not here. Neil Druckmann, where are you?
PlayStation.
So you want to know where Factions is, don't you? Well, let's have Naughty Dog answer that question for you.
We realize many of you have been anticipating news around the project that we've been calling The Last of Us Online. There's no easy way to say this. We've made the incredibly difficult decision to stop development on that game.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
We know this news will be tough for many, especially our dedicated The Last of Us Factions community, who have been following our multiplayer ambitions ardently. We're equally crushed at the studio as we were looking forward to putting it in your hands. We wanted to share with you some background of how we came to this decision. The multiplayer team has been in pre-production with this game since we were working on The Last of Us Part 2, crafting an experience we felt was unique and had tremendous potential. As the multiplayer team iterated on their concept for The Last of Us Online during this time, their vision crystallized, the gameplay got more refined and satisfying, and we were enthusiastic about the direction in which we were headed. In ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So, we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service games studio or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. We are immensely proud of everyone at the studio that touched this project. The learnings and investments in technology from this game will carry into how we develop our projects and will be invaluable in the direction we are headed as a studio. We have more than one ambitious, brand new single-player game that we're working on here at Naughty Dog, and we cannot wait to share more about what comes next when we're ready. Until then, We're incredibly thankful to our community for your support throughout the years.
So when you look at that, after all the months of the Xbox community telling the PlayStation community that here what, this Faction 2 games has been cancelled, you know, they tried to correct it by saying no, the developer says it's still in development. But it is clear now, you know, the rumors was true. Right now, Sony cannot manage their games. Sony cannot, you know, basically walk and chew gum at the same time. They can't drink and swallow at the same time. It's very sad to see Sony, the so-called best studio, Naughty Dog, you know, be reduced to this. But you know, it really helps us to see how many L's Sony, you know, is taking this year. You know, Post Up really did lay out a list as to how many L's Sony took this year. Look at this list. So we had Connie Booth being fired, and the team walking out. Multiplayer layoffs across the studios. PlayStation VR2 no longer priority. Jim Ryan retiring. You know, Gas Games reduced from 12 to 6. No, since 2019, high revenue, low operating income. Faction 2 delayed, we just heard about that. No first party roadmap. First party studios incapable of diversity. A $200 peripheral. PlayStation PSN prices going up. And what I would add to this list is all the different hacks that happened 3 times this year. Sony put their customers' informations in the hands of hackers. So things were not looking good at all for Sony this year. But you know what's the icing on the cake is how the community is reacting to all of this news. How the Sony fans, the ponies, is reacting. Look at this. Let's look at J-Dub. You all know J-Dub, the 5-star general when it comes to the Pony Nation. He is the one who spreads fake news and alternative facts to suit the Sony community. You all remember when he said that Factions 2 would come out long before Starfield? Got him. Now he's saying that, you know, he was drunk when he made that statement and he's asking Twitter to forgive him. Now look at this other pony here.
I think a lot more developers going into 2024 are going to stop putting games on Game Pass because of that very reason. Frostbite. Oh!
What's going on?
The Last of Us factions just got canceled.
Are you serious?
I think a lot.
When this dude heard that The Last of Us Factions 2 got cancelled, that hurt him to his very core. You could see the pain in his face. The pony community on Twitter even held an emergency Twitter space where every last pony came together to comfort one another, to really support one another through these trying times. Now, if you can't see that something is happening with Sony here, something is wrong with you. But let me hear what you think about everything that was said today. Is Sony really having, or Sony fans, having the worst year ever? Let me know in the comment sections below. Let me know what I missed. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. I just forgot to say this, guys, that I am taking a little vacation, and because of that, you guys will not be getting, as much content as before. This will be happening for a week. You guys might get a video every 2 days or every 3 days. I'm still doing content, but not as frequent as before. The steady flow of content will continue maybe a week from today. So just a little update. I'll see you guys in the next one.